good morning. Welcome back to Astrology from a Libra's perspective. Today is Thursday, April 30th, 2020. All right, so if you've watched the last video, basically what I'm doing, I'm reading daily horoscopes, right? For each sign, I'm going to read what the actual daily horoscope is, and then I'm going to break it down from my perspective because, after all, this is astrology from a Libra's perspective. Basically, what I'm trying to do here is translate or find a way to reword or break down in a little bit more detail, provide an example or an inspiration for each sign based on what their daily horoscope is, in my own words, because sometimes we read these things and we're like, okay, pretty general, or okay, what does this mean, or what would this look like in practice? I may not have specifics for you, but I'll at least try my best from my perspective in my own words to break down what it is I'm reading. And remember, I'm not an astrology expert. I'm not a scientist. I'm not, somebody who, knows in depth about astrology and exactly how it works, but I'm into horoscopes. I get my horoscope reading every day. I read it. I look to see what, I could potentially do each day to create a little bit of a better person from when the day started by the time that day ends. And I try to do a little bit of that every day. No one's perfect. We all fall short of that goal. But the point is to continue to pursue that. And that's the best that any of us could ever really hope for. So the horoscope that I'm going to read now is going to be for Taurus. And again, today is April 30th. Daily horoscope for Taurus reads as such. A relative could be a bit severe with you, making you feel a bit defensive or resentful. But today is not the day to resolve your differences. Instead, turn your attention to domestic activities that bring you joy, i.e. cooking, gardening, and decorating can cultivate peace. It's possible there's nothing you love more than creating things of beauty with your own two hands. As the day winds down, you may be even more strongly convinced that expressing your artistic side is your life's purpose. Stock up on supplies and get to work on a project that reflects who you truly are. All right, so I'm going to stay on this premise, but I'm going to veer a little bit to the left because not everybody likes to work with their hands. Not everybody necessarily has a tangible art that they like to pursue. Look, some people just like to lay around and relax when there's nothing to do. Some people just like to listen to music. Some people just like to, do things internally, meditate. Or maybe in a physical sense, you might like to exercise or maybe just talk to friends on the phone. The point here, I think, what this is pointing out is, in times which, for whatever reason, the energy may be off, or you're upset at someone close to you, someone you care about, for something that they say, I think is to sit back in that moment, which is hard to do, but sit back in that moment and maybe try to realize, look, is this person, this relative, this friend, this significant other, whoever, are they coming at me as a way to comfort me, or are they out of love trying to tell me something about myself that could better me and not benefit them? Because look, let's be real. Sometimes people will try to provide guidance or try to give us insights into who we are, but really it's a deflection of who they are, because sometimes people notice the things in you that they don't like, because if they were to look in the mirror, it's the things about them they don't like. But I think what this is saying here is, if you're dealing with someone who is close to you, have a connection with, you have love for, you value what they say and what they think, before you get defensive, right? Turn to you, turn to the things you love, turn to the ways that you unwind, because maybe in doing those things, it'll do two things. One, it might provide a distraction to you from, whatever potentially hurtful thing might have been said to you. And two, as you're doing that and getting back to who you really are, maybe in those self-expressions of your own creative work, or your listening to music and unwinding and really reflecting, right? Because I think when we do things that we naturally love, when we do things that would normally bring us peace of mind and that solitude for however long it is, 10 minutes, 2 hours, whatever, watch a movie, watch a TV show. Sometimes in the natural process of doing that, in the back of your mind, what a person said, what that person close to you was saying, or what they pointed out, what they had in the way of feedback for you, it might pop up again, but in an introspective way or a reflective way. And I think what is a good idea to do based on what this horoscope is saying is, after you pull yourself away, right? Not in a way to ignore that person, not in a way to say, yo, fuck that person, I'm just gonna go do me, I'm just gonna go be by myself. If this person has this issue with me, then fine, I don't need to deal with them, I don't need to talk to them. I think this is a time for reflection, and this is a time to really pull yourself away from yourself by delving into something that you love, something that you're passionate about. And maybe in doing that, you will organically come to a realization that, you know what, I might not be able, ready, and willing, or mature enough, or, excelled enough in this moment to admit that what this person said might be true, or there might be some truth to it. But, I can kind of feel and relate to what they said. And then after you have gone off into that distraction, or gone off into that self-expression, or that creative work, or, that thing to pull you back into who you are, maybe after you come out of that, maybe you're ready to have a conversation. Maybe you're ready to express those feelings now that you've pulled yourself away from it and you're a bit further removed from the anger of what might have been said. And now you're ready to deal with the core, or the premise, or the foundation of what was said, and maybe have a more productive, discussion. And look, relatives, people close to you, friends, family, significant others, even in our anger, sometimes people say things that they may mean in principle what they're saying, but in that anger, they may not have meant it to come out as harsh. So maybe pulling yourself away briefly to focus on something for you, and allowing that person to, pull away from that situation. Maybe when you come back to express yourself, hopefully in a more calm manner, maybe you can get some more insight as to what that person meant to say, rather than what came out, or rather than how you heard it. So that will be my take. And for all my Tauruses out there, I hope that you all are able, after practicing this today, to have maybe some slightly more difficult conversations with that person or those people around you. And even if you don't come out of it with a better understanding, and even if you don't come out of it with any resolve, because sometimes there's not a resolution, right? Sometimes in life there are cliffhangers, and everything can't be resolved within a 10-minute discussion, or even 10-minute discussion. Sometimes it's a process. But I think apply this not just to today, but try to incorporate a little bit of this in your everyday life. We all have to have something that we can run to when the noise of the outside, the noise of the people around us that we take care of, or that we care for, whatever that care may look like. We all need a way to go back to ourselves, right? A way to therapy ourselves. For me, my therapy is doing vlogs, doing videos, right? For me, my therapy might be talking to friends within my circle, hugging my children. We all have something, no matter what it looks like, that we go to as a way to get away from, right? The noise, the world around us, the pain, the hurt, the depression, whatever it is. And as long as you're not causing physical, mental, emotional, spiritual pain to others, whatever you choose to do to get back to you is worth doing. So give it a try. I got love for all my Tauruses out there. Hopefully you come out of today and out of this whole situation that we're in a better person. Use the time that we have right now, because the world is moving so much slower, to find what your passion is. Maybe you're reading this horoscope, you're a Taurus, and maybe you don't know what your artistic, abilities are. Maybe you don't know what your passion is, because life moves so fast and the world is so busy. And now in this time period, things slow down enough that you can figure out your passion. You know, maybe you want to pursue something that you've never pursued before. Pursue it. But understand that sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes those same relatives, those same loved ones, those same significant others, brothers, sisters, those same people that you care about, who say things that may offend you, sometimes, not all the time, they do have your best interest at heart. And maybe now is a time to figure out if that person you're dealing with is someone who has your best interest at heart. And then you need to repair that, or you need to address that, and you need to reflect on that. And first determine if that person is just deflecting or if they really care for you. And if your determination is that they really do care for you, then maybe you need to readdress whatever the incident that happened was that made you upset, and address it in an open way, and address it